The Strait of Hormuz was always a latent lever, but never an actively weaponized one. That distinction matters. For decades, its power lay in ambiguity. Everyone knew it could be disrupted, but no one operationalized it as a daily tool of coercion. The recent US-Iran war changed that. Iran didn't just signal disruption, it engineered it. And in doing so, it may have overplayed its strongest card. Let's start with the scale of what Iran has exposed. Roughly 20 million barrels per day, about 1/5 of global oil consumption, flow through Hormuz. That is not just leverage, it is systematic dependence. But leverage works best when it is implicit. By actively mining lanes, harassing shipping, and attempting to reshape transit patterns, Iran has shifted Hormuz from threat to policy. And once a threat becomes policy, it invites counter-policy. This is where Iran's lane engineering becomes strategically revealing. Mining actively closer to Oman and UAE is not random. It is coercive geography. The intent is clear. Push shipping closer to Iran's coast, increase monitoring, and eventually justify regulation and tolling. The idea of charging even $1 per barrel sounds incremental, even administrative. But in reality, it is a declaration of control, and control without consensus is provocation. Some may try to dress this up in legal analogies, invoking frameworks like Montreux Convention, but the comparison collapses under scrutiny. Montreux is multilateral, codified, and accepted. Iran's proposed regime would be unilateral, contested, and coercive. International law does not easily accommodate such claims over a global energy artery. More importantly, the region will not tolerate it. The Gulf states are the critical variable, and here Iran's logic runs into a hard wall. The GCC will never accept paying Iran to export their own oil. For Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and others, this is not a commercial issue. It is a sovereignty issue. The predictable response is not compliance, but bypass. That process is already underway. Saudi Arabia's East-West pipeline can move up to 7 million barrels per day to the Red Sea, bypassing Hormuz entirely. It cannot replace the full 20 million BPD flow, but it doesn't need to. It only needs to dilute Iran's leverage. Even partial rerouting weakens the choke point centrality, and crucially, capacity can be expanded over time. This is where Iran's strategy begins to unravel. By making Hormuz a contested space, it accelerates investment in alternatives, pipelines, Red Sea routes, and Mediterranean corridors. In that emerging map, nodes like the Israeli port of Haifa gain indirect importance as energy flows diversify westward. In trying to control one artery, Iran risks stimulating an entire circulatory redesign. The deeper contradiction is strategic. Iran wants two things simultaneously: nuclear capability and maritime control. But the combination is precisely what makes its position unacceptable to others. A state perceived as ideologically rigid cannot credibly claim custodianship of the world's most crucial energy route. By foregrounding Hormuz, Iran has intensified, not reduced, global resistance to its broader ambitions. And that brings us to the core argument. Iran's mistake is not in recognizing Hormuz as leverage. It is in using it too early, too visibly, and too aggressively. What was once a latent deterrent has become an active trigger for countermeasures. What was once a point of dependence is now a catalyst for diversification. Closing or even managing Hormuz may create short-term price spike and tactical pressure, but strategically it invites adaptation. And once the world adapts, the leverage erodes. Hormuz, in that sense, is not Iran's strength anymore. It is becoming its strategic exposure.